All right, we are here at my urban worm bag, and I'm so excited because last time we were in here, we put in a whole banana flower, and I've been checking on this kind of daily, and I've noticed a big dip right here. So we put that banana flower down, and then we put a bunch of this bedding that you see that's kind of whole in chunks because last time we wanted to see if we can kind of make this a trash can worm bin where I'm not having to worry so much about shredding all the cardboard up. And then what we did was we put all kinds of food scraps, and then we put more cardboard in. So let's kind of get to the bottom of what's going on. And I am seeing lots of worms on the side, and that's because it rained all day and we are also at night, so the temperatures are cooler. And I have put the temperature sensor back in here because I wanted to see what it was, and there's a worm on it, and it was 61 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll put the Celsius on there. So let's kind of dig in, and when I put this paper and this shredded cardboard and these paper towel rolls, it was dry, and there is some dryness here, but on the top here it is wet, and that's because I get some condensation on the lid and it kind of falls down. And I did not see any pooling in the bottom mortar tray, so that's good. And I'm seeing right here some good castings as well as some worms right in there. And we've got some banana peels on here. I know we put a lot of banana peels because after we put down that banana flour, we put down a bunch of bedding around it, and then we put some normal food scraps like banana peels, celery, lettuce stalks, Brussels sprouts, some arugula, some potato peels, and then, like I said, we put a whole bunch of banana peels from a Ziploc bag my mom had given me full of them. So then, of course, we added a bunch of amendments, and then we just kind of dragged all this bedding on here. We said that we're not going to add any additional bedding because last time we harvested, we got about 14.15 pounds, but some of it still had just a little bit of shreds and some bigger chunks like these egg cartons. So what I'm going to try and do is kind of use more food, more nitrogen, and a little bit less bedding and less carbon. That's not the usual advice I give, but I'm adjusting based on what I'm seeing out of the bottom of this urban worm bag. So as I dig in here, ooh, we got a pumpkin stem. That is going to be with us for a long time. And let me dig right down the center because that is where we put in the banana flower. And I'm going to dig pretty deep because it was sunken in. What do we have? What is this? Bedding, lots of worms attacking a banana peel right here. I believe we've got a cardboard tube and some paper towel inside of it, it looks like. I just have to go through everything because I don't want to miss that banana flower. Let me dig in. I kind of feel like almost like a mushy cavernous area. Just gonna flip it over. Ooh, what is this? Oh, this is it. I think this is it. Oh yeah, look at that. The worms are just going into every layer. And right here where my thumb is with the gloved hand, I think are individual bananas. Yeah, there's one right there, just the baby bananas. We showed them to you when we put this in the last video, and that was pretty big. And look how much they've eaten down. It has been 20 days since we were in here, and man, I really thought we gave them a lot of food, especially with this banana flower. I'm just gonna kind of dig in and see how far down the worms got. Looks like even the mites right there got pretty far down. Maybe if I go through here, trying to be gentle, don't want to squish any worms, but in general, you don't have to worry too much about that. They're very flexible creatures, not like I'm breaking any bones in there. So they haven't got down to the middle, and look at that. You just see all the little baby bananas in there. Oh, got one that got in there pretty good. So they're going to enjoy this. I'm just going to try and set this to the side if I can. And let's see if I got all the banana flower, because there was kind of the stem part. Here's more of it right there. There we go. Let's see. Let's see. Any more of that stem? I would think it would be almost like, you know, the end of a banana peel stem like this, but it would be right down here in the middle. Man, this we are going deep. We are going real deep, and nothing but, look at that, cranberries. Gardening with Bert Chuck and Rick over there, and also Sandra over at Nana's Worms and Gardens had warned me about cranberries and how long they take, and they were absolutely right. And I think Sandra had mentioned that it is the phytochemicals in it that are kind of antimicrobial, and that's one of the things that makes them last a little bit longer in a worm bin. So we've got a little bit of a predicament here. There is a really shallow, not shallow, but really deep hole that was just kind of mushy and stuff. So I think what I need to do is kind of break all this up and just really mix it up. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Oh, well, for saving that, and I should have worn 2 gloves today. Wow, on the sides, it's really great castings. Just in the middle there is where it's having some issues. Not so much issues, but just different amounts of worm castings. Wow. This is crazy. Okay, as I'm doing this, something I want to talk about. On the edges seems to be pretty good castings like this right here. And in the middle is more of the kind of vermicompost where it's mixed with worm castings. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of dig from the sides. Yeah, look at that. Dig from the sides and kind of mix it all in. That right there is worm castings, pretty much straight worm poop. So I've had this bin for almost a year. It has been 359 days since we started this, and I am learning a lot. And I guess I'm learning that the sides can kind of keep lots of worm castings. So this is good that maybe every once in a while I mix it up really deep, and we'll see how that goes. So let me kind of even it out here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pile a bunch of material on one side, and then we're going to feed right here, and then we'll pull all this material over on top of that food, feed here, and then just kind of even it out. So let's go ahead and get started. And this, an avocado pit.
Where did all that fun flower stuff go?
I couldn't save it. It got all mixed in. I'm sorry.
Fail.
It's not a fail. All right, so we're going to go in with our normal pail of food scraps. And oh boy, we've got all kinds of great stuff. Looks like an orange peel, some celery, lettuce stalks. This, I think, is nasty spinach. I can never eat all the spinach. We've got some lemon slices. We've been putting them in our water, and that will go over there. That's going to take a while. This lettuce stalk will probably be gone in 4 days, believe it or not, and I'll put it right over some lemons. But I really want to spread things out. Pomegranate skins. This is going to take forever. I'm doing a time lapse in the Vermi hut, and these, I mean, it's been like, I think 8 days. The worms haven't even touched them. So we'll kind of spread those out. Let's add a little bit more. This is not a feeding that's going to make the executive producer happy. She always thinks I overfeed, which she is probably right. Got some bananas, some asparagus. These are some rose leaves from some flowers I got the executive producer. And I think that's good. We'll do that just like that. And let's dump it over. And then we're going to put the rest of the food scraps on the other side. There we go. Just like that. Now I'm going to keep to what I said. I'm not going to put any more bedding because I want to see more worm poop at the bottom and a little bit more worm castings instead of vermicompost out the end of it. So let's pile up over here more. And then I think we're ready for the food on this side. It's going to be a little bit less. So we'll go in with some banana peels. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is some Keurig coffee filters. You can actually put coffee filters in your little individual Keurig things. I think that's for my mom. We'll leave those there. But that reminds me, I'm going to do a coffee experiment in this bin too. So in we go with a little bit more food scraps. Oh no. Oh no. This is more cranberry mash. Oh, that's going to take forever. Okay. Banana peels and lettuce stalk, Brussels sprouts. All right, I'm going to risk it. I think right here, I'm going to do a little experiment. So in here is coffee and tea grounds, and sometimes I just kind of fill this up too fast and I can't use it fast enough, so it gathers in this big pile and it even gets some mold on it and stuff like that. So I have heard of people just using coffee in their worm bins and nothing else, just a kind of coffee worm bin. So I'm going to take this whole pile, put it right there.
You did not tell me that.
Check out all that cool mold. I don't even want to break it up. And, you know, if it heats up, the worms can go other places. This is a really big bin. So I don't know. I think this is going to be cool. We'll see what happens. So we'll go in with some worm chow. This is just some expired grains that I mix up in my Magic Bullet blender. And it helps me keep my pantry clear and feeds the worms. And they already got coffee, so I'm not going to sprinkle in any more. But I am going to give them one of their favorites, which is pulverized eggshells. And they use this in their gizzards to make the food smaller, helps break things up, and I find that they go after it really quick in the time lapses that I do. All right, so this is a pretty wild feeding. Let's kind of bury up whatever we have left. And I said I was not going to use bedding, so I'm not going to. But this might be a problem because I can see some of the food. Now, it has that zip-up lid on this, and it actually helps to bring the moisture up on it and drip back down. So I really like the kind of design that the Urban Worm Company has here. Steve Churchill over there at the Urban Worm Company. And let me see if I can bury the coffee grounds up a little bit more. And And here's that. This is never going to get eaten if I just leave it right on top. So I've got to bury it, and even still, it's going to take forever. So there we go. Learned a lot. Learned that the worms really create a lot of worm castings along the sides, or the urban worm bag kind of keeps them there and it kind of funnels things through the middle. So that was good that I saw that we need to break it up. So perhaps, you know, if you have a urban worm bag that's about a year old, maybe look deep down in the sides and see if you need to do that too. So this is it. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope your worm bins are doing well. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.